This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, friends. In this Business Intelligence Master Program, this is our 37th session. In this session, we are going to talk about switch activity. Okay, so how you are going to use this switch activity, we are going to see in detail. Okay, let's see. In today's session, we will learn scenarios and estimations, prerequisite and required uses. We know about all these things. Then, with respect to demo, we will see how to create ADLS Gen 2, create Azure Data Factory V2, and we will create a ADLS Gen 2 linked service with Key Vault using integration runtime. Then we will create the data sets, pipeline, and run pipeline with the trigger. And we will monitor the pipeline. So you already know why I'm creating only linked service to ADLS Gen 2, because whatever data I'm moving today, the data I'm going to move from the ADLS Gen 2 to the ADLS Gen 2. But our purpose is we are going to focus on switch activity, how you are going to use this switch activity. Okay, so for that I'm going to use my storage. From the storage, how I am moving data from one location to the another location, you can be able to see. In scenarios you see here, we are going to see copy data from source folder to archive folder in data lake storage Gen 2. How you can copy data from source folder to the archive folder in data lake storage Gen 2. Then we will see delete data from source folder once all data copied to the archive folder. So there are three cases here. Switch means we will have a cases, remember. So what you want to do, case is nothing but a example. I want to copy data, that is one of the case. I want to delete the case, I want to delete the data, so that is one of the case. Then you want to move the data. What is meant by move and copy? What is the difference between move and copy? Even if you know Linux, right? So what happens? Move means cut and paste, meaning it will paste the data. It will paste the data. Once it is successfully pasted, it will delete from the source. That is the move. Okay, likewise, I will use some three statements. One is for only copying data, another one is for only deleting, third one is for moving. Moving means copy data into some other folder, example from source to archive data folder. Once the copy activity is successful, please delete files from the source folder. That is the requirement. Okay, how to do that we will see. Then we are going to see how to use switch use cases in real time. How to use switch use cases in real time. So basically you will have a switch cases. Okay, so how to use these cases in real time we are going to see. But remember, when you are giving the case names, these are a case sensitive. Case sensitive means you have kept copy c is capital and you are passing small c, it will throw error. See, if it is not making sense to you, don't worry. When you see the practical, you will come to know. But basically, these case names, you remember, if you know any language, Java, C, in all other languages, you'll have a switch, but except Python. In Python, we don't have a switch case. But in Java, C, .NET, right? So all these will have a switch activity. Switch will work. Okay, so in control flow, this particular switch condition you will see. Okay, so how your switch condition will work in programming, exactly same way this switch activity will work. Here also we will have a cases. Okay, you just have to provide the case. So if the case equal to copy, whenever it is matching case, you have passed copy as a parameter. Whenever it is matched, respect to pipeline will execute. Don't worry, I will show you each and everything. Next, with the help of for these cases, you can able to control pipeline with switch activity. Okay, then we are going to use switch activity, copy activity, delete activity, and wait activity today. Okay, so these are the activities I am going to execute today. Next, switch in Java programming. You see, in programming example, int day equal to 4. If it is a Python or Scala, so we won't mention the data types. But in Java, we need to mention the data type. Okay, day equal to 4. Switch day. Case 1, system.out.println Monday break. Break means it will not check other conditions. It will not check the other conditions. It will be terminated here itself. Okay, if this condition is completed, if this condition is executed, it will not execute any other things. Okay, break is the default one. Okay, you need to have a break in all the cases. Next, case 2, system.out.println Tuesday. So if you are passing day equal to 2, it will print Tuesday. If you are passing day equal to 3, it will be Wednesday. Day equal to 4, Thursday. So today is Wednesday, so I will say int day equal to 3, then it will print Wednesday. because it will check here. First it will execution come from the top, case equal to 1, right? But the value you have passed is 4. Whether 4 is matching with no, so this case is false, this case is false. So this is also false. This is matching with the value which I have provided, right? So the value which I have provided 4, that 4 is matching with the case 4. So this value is matching with the value which I have provided. So when these two match, this particular logic will execute in the same way. What happens is here you have a, let's say case is copy, case 2 is delete, case 3 is move. Move means copy and delete. Both activities I need to use. Fourth one, something like let's say here you have something called default. Default means what is meant by default? If none of the conditions matching, example I will say int day equal to 10. So int day equal to 10 means there is no case is matching here. So default case will execute and it will display Sunday. Int day equal to 100. So which one will execute? Default case, because when these cases are not matching, default case will execute. Okay. In the same way, in our switch activity, we will have all the cases. You can just create as many cases as you want, and you can have a default case as well. Okay, got it. Now you see, without switching Azure Data Factory, how we will do is this particular requirement. So can you tell me what is meant by this pipeline.parameter.file action? What is this? What is this? We have discussed. In the name itself, it's there. What it is?
Pipeline parameter.
Very good. It's a pipeline parameter. So what is the parameter name? Parameter name is file action. So what I'm going to do, I will open a one pipeline parameter. For that particular pipeline parameter, when I pass the move, then it will match it with the move. Okay. So I will send a move to my switch activity. Switch activity will execute move case. So when I have something like this, when I pass copy, copy case, it will execute. When I pass delete, delete case will execute. Example, basically what happens without switch activity, what we will do is you will read all the files from a child items, you will read from the get file names. Then these files, whether you want to delete, whether you want to copy, or you want to copy and delete. So that particular condition, move files, if condition, I'm checking by using this. I will check whether file action is move or not. If it is a move, I will just call the copy activity. Inside if condition true activity, I will use copy activity and delete activity. Inside this if condition, if it is a copy files, so I will check it here. If this is this condition is true, then I will go inside true activities. I will add the copy activity just to copy whatever files I got. Inside this if condition, what I will do, I will if this condition is true, if user entered file action is delete, this condition will become true. When it is true, I will go inside true and I will add a delete activity to delete the files whatever are coming from the source, right? So what is happening here, you are explicitly checking all these conditions. Why you are checking all these conditions explicitly? The reason is you don't have a switch. Without switch in ADF, you need to do something like that. Let's say you have switch. With switch in ADF, you have something like this. See, switch, default case, copy, delete, and move. So you have something like this. Okay, default, copy, delete, and move. Now you come here, you see default. I am not using any activities. You can use some wait activity or something for default. Now copy. Copy is basically if you want to copy any files, you just have to use a copy activity. For deleting, you have to use another activities. For move, you need to use a copy and a delete, both activities I will use. See, for copying, I will use a copy activity. For deleting, I will use a delete activity inside. So for move, I will use both copy and delete activities. Understood. So you are not checking anything, simply you are passing some value. Let's say I passed here move. Okay, let's say I passed here value move. So move means this move will match it here. So can you tell me whether will it execute move or delete or copy?
It will execute move.
What it will execute? What it will execute?
Move.
Can you check case letters here? It's a capital. It's a M small. So this move means it will go to the default. The reason is this particular case should be case sensitive. If you are here passing capital M, here it's a small m, it will not match. It's a case sensitive. Say case sensitive, remember. So when it is not matching, then it will go into the default case. So in this case, it will go and execute default case, not move, because here capital M, here small m. Okay, everything we will see practically, don't worry. Next, with switch in ADF, now you see, not only that, you can do something like this as well. You will have a Databricks notebook or any other things. So, but this we won't do in real time, but just I'm giving some idea. Let's say you have development notebook, you have test notebook, okay, we have production notebook. So you have created a small cluster here, medium cluster, large cluster. So when you call it and when you execute this notebook is basically a development one. That's why you are using small. This is basically medium cluster, this is basically a large cluster. I have taken from like Google Images, but remember these kind of things we won't do. Okay, these kind of things we won't do, but just to get some idea. Okay, we have different cases, based on case we are going to do. We have multiple conditions, based on condition we want to execute something. Okay, then we need to go with the switch. We have 100 conditions, then you just use 100 cases to define your condition. Wherever that condition is met, then it will go and execute that particular logic. Okay, fine. Copy data from source to target in ADLS Gen 2. Yes, so you'll have ADLS Gen 2. This is, let's say, in source folder you have. I want to load it into data lake storage Gen 2 in a target. First, I need to create the linker service. Then I need to create input data set. Then I need to use a copy data activity. Okay, so to load this data into target, I need to specify my target folder. To access the target folder, I need to create a linker service. When I execute this particular file, in a particular folder, data will be loaded. Okay, who can do this? So Azure integration runtime will do, or you can also use self-hosted integration runtime. Next, we can who will manage all these things? Azure Data Factory is managing. Next, estimations. So today I'm going to use only data lake storage Gen 2, so one linker service is required. So how many data sets we need depends on the reference points we need to create data sets. How many activities we need? One copy activity is required to copy data from ADLS Gen 2 to ADLS Gen 2. How many pipelines? One pipeline. What type of IR we need to use to move data from ADLS Gen 2 to ADLS Gen 2 is Azure integration runtime or self-hosted integration. Prerequisite, we need ADLS Gen 2, key vault, schedule trigger. Okay, all these things we are aware. Okay, so we discussed each and every concept in detail. Let's go with required resources. I need data lake storage into Key Vault and the Azure Data Factory. Only these three services I need. Okay, let me just go and create those three. Okay, clear? Or any doubts, friends, before I go for the lab? Come here. So let me quickly create. First one is storage account. Let's go to the storage and click on storage account. Click add storage account. It's a free trial resource group. Let's create a new resource group. Cloud Monday. Master program. Click OK. Storage account name. Cloud Monday store. ADLS V2 store. Okay, fine. So it's East to S2. In East to S2, I'm creating networking. We know how to create ADLS Gen 2. We need to go to advanced, click on advanced, come down, you see your hierarchical namespace we need to enable, then click review presentate. Create it. Let's open new tab here to create our Azure Data Factory. Click on Data Factories. Click Add Data Factories. Wait, right? Resource group is this one, and ADF name is Cloud Funded EI ADF V21209 to the data view. It will be unique. Click Git configuration. I will configure it later. Review plus create. Running final validation. You can create it. Now come here. Let's create our final service, that is Azure keyword we need. Okay. Click on keywords. Click add. Free trial resource group use. You can select this one, and then keyword name. Cloud Funded AKV 1209. These two years. Okay. Click access policies. I want to add my data factory. Yesterday we have added data factory after creating the Azure keyword, right? So today let me add before full access. Click select the required Azure data factory. So what is your data factory name? My data factory name is Cloud Funded BI ADF V2 1209. Yes, this one. Select this. Click select. Come down. Click add it. Then click review plus create. Create it. Okay. Fine. Now go to the storage account. Go to resource. Let's click on container. Let's click on container. Here, let's say basically what I will do is source data container. Okay, create it. In this, whatever data I have in source data container, that particular data, one second. So in real time, most of the cases, let me just, yeah, that's okay. This is okay. Go inside the source data. Let's imagine you have some partitions, right? So in real time, most of the cases, whenever some corruption happened, right, data is corrupted or data is wrongly moved to some other folders, we will need to move this data into the correct folders. Okay, now, so what I'm going to do, let's say basically 7th data, 1207 data moved to the 1208. Now I want to move data into the respective folder. Okay, see 2020 December. So what happened is December 7th data moved to the December 8th folder. Okay, first I will create a 8th folder. So what happened is in this 8th folder I have the data. In this 8th folder I have the data. Now you see, click on here, upload. Let me just upload the file. Let's say you can have multiple files, right? You can have multiple files. So what happened is, you see here, all these files moved from 2020 1208. So what happened in a source data folder, I have a year, month and day partition. In this partition I have the files. All these files wrongly moved to the 1208 folder. So now what I wanted to do, I want to bring them back to 1207 folder, meaning come back. Let's create a here 07 folder. Okay, you understood? So I am moving the data into the 07 folder. So that's what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do, friends. You understood? I hope you understood, right? So I have a data in, actually data should be moved from 2020 1207. Actually we need to move it into the 07, but you see currently data is not available in 07. Wrongly due to some pipeline failures, yesterday run was not happened properly. Yesterday files moved to the today date, that is 08. Seventh day folders also moved into the 8th day folder. Now what I want to do, all these folders should not be there in a 08. 08 run has not happened yet. Just imagine 08 run has not happened yet. So now I want to take these files into, I need to take those files into the 07. That is what our requirement. Is this clear, friends? What is the requirement? So this is the real-time scenario. If you are going to work on Azure Data Factory, so you will get this kind of scenario for sure. You understood this? Okay. Now we need to move files from 08 to the 07. That is the 1. What else I need to do? When I move files from 08 to 07, then I need to delete the files from the 08. It's nothing but a move I wanted to do. I want to do move. Okay. I want to do move. Now, 1 second. Fine. So this is source data is nothing but our source data is wrongly mapped and I need to correct it. Now I will create one more container. This is a sample. You can see how switch activity will work, right? So this is basically copy data folder. Or else, let's say I have some files. Okay, this is what you can do is log files. Just imagine these are the log files. Okay, so these log files, whatever log files I am uploading here, let's imagine I am going to upload the same CSV files here also. But let's imagine you have all these files. So all these log files, what I wanted to do, I want to move it in. I just want to copy it into the archive folder. Archive. So from log files folder to the archive folder, I need to move the files. Like this is it. See, in source data in 2020-07, so 2020 08 files, I want to move it into the 07. That is a moving. Moving means once I copied, I will delete it. When you come back here, you see log files. These log files, I just want to copy these files into the archive. Then what happens? Files will be available in both the folders. Remember, files will be available in both the folders. Next, I have a something called some bad record. Some bad files I have. Those bad files I simply want to delete it. Okay, go inside bad file. So in this folder, whatever I have, you see, I will just directly upload, but in real time we will have a year, month, day, and a day partitions. Let's upload all these files, bad files. You can have n number of files, right? So you just have everything. So employee, customer, all these files I want to delete it. Okay, I hope now you understood. It's clear, right? Is it clear to all of you, friends? So in source data, I have a year, month, day partitions from 08 date to the 07 date. I want to move the files, meaning copy and delete it from the 08. Log files, I need to move it into the archive. Log files, I want to copy from a log file to the archive folder. Next, bad files, I want to delete. Okay, fine. Now, come here, go to access case. Click on, see nowadays like there is a by default keys are hidden. Now if you want to see the keys, then you have to say showcase. Previously it is like this. By default is it will show the keys. If you want, you have to hide the keys. But now by default it is hidden. Now if you want to see the keys, we have to say showcase. You see here key I have copied, then you can say hide keys again. Come to Azure Keyword, click on go to resource, click on keys, generate/import. So here you can say it's a ADLS key. Oh, sorry. What creating? I don't want to create the key. Let's go with the secrets. See, basically, what is key? Let me explain you. So when you click generate/import, you see it is asking key, right? With what kind of key? With what kind of key you want to encrypt your secrets? Okay, that kind of keys also you can select. Whatever keys you want to use for encrypting your secret, that you can select. But we want secrets. We want to store the secrets. You can say ADLS key. I'll just put this and create it. Okay, now I have a ADLS key. Now come to data factory, click go to resource. Let's and okay, open author and monitor tab. Okay, come to manage tab. Click new. First we need to connect to the keyword. Okay, let's check keyword. Search for keywords. Azure keyword, click continue. This is what friends. LS for Azure keyword. So from subscription I can able to identify test connection. So if you want to test it, you know, right? So I have not entered keys. It's a managed identity, so automatically you will get the connection. So connection successful. You can cancel it. Publish on. So this particular thing you need to publish, then only you can able to use it in other linked services. Okay, so this is finished. Now click new. Now we need to connect to the. Okay, we need to connect to data lake storage Gen 2. Okay. Let's say here I will say Gen 2. Select data lake storage Gen 2. Click continue. This is LS or ADLS Gen 2. Auto resolve integration on time, account key enter manually, storage account key, storage account. Like here you need to put the URL. How to put the URL? You know, right? HTTPS // you need to get the storage name. Where is your storage? This is your storage. Take the storage name. Come here, put that storage name .dfs.core.windows.net/. Now storage account key, do you want to enter manually or you want to read it from the keyword? From the keyword we want to read. So we just use this keyword link service secret name ADLS key. So this is the secret name we have given. Test the connection. We have seen linked service parameters as well, dataset parameter, pipeline parameter, everything we have seen. Now connection failed. So let's go to the ADLS. So it's ADLS key. This is correct. DFS dot see spelling mistake. Windows test connection. Connection successful. You can create. Okay. Now come to author tab. I want to create total multiple pipelines. Let's create today. Okay. Because I don't want to create a single pipeline to show switch activity. We are going to use in a single pipeline. Okay. But basically, I will have multiple pipelines here. Okay. It's basically PL data movement. Data move. Data move. You can say data move. Data move means first you will have a copy data activity, then you will have a delete activity. First I want to copy data from source. What is our source? Gen 2. Here Gen 2, ADLS Gen 2. So the CSV files we have. Okay, it's basically you can say TS for move. This is TS for move and source. The source data set. Okay, DS move source data set. Linked service is this, and file path. In real time, if you have single folder, you can able to just browse it. You no need to create a dynamic. That's what we discussed. Don't do too much dynamic when you have single file. Okay, so that is not required. When you have multiple things, you need to dynamic, right? So now you have a single folder where you want to read and you need to copy, right? So you can just select that folder. But do you know how you can dynamically pass these values? If I give start date and end date, like let's say I will give the date. Okay, this is the date I have. From this particular date, I need to move the files into this particular date. Let's say I will give 2020-12-08 to 2020-12-07. I want to copy files. Will you be able to copy or not, friends? How many of you comfortable to copy files? Tell me. Otherwise, I will just explain same thing again. How many of you comfortable, friends? Okay, let's do. If you're not comfortable, I will go with this. Okay, do not worry. So if you're not comfortable on something, please let me know. But we discussed this. Okay, so this particular date I will pass it dynamically. Let's say that particular date I will pass it dynamically by using dataset parameter. Right here, I will say from date. From date. From what date I want to read the data. So from date, this is right. So from date I need to use here. In this from date, I need to read one by one. How you read? Format date time, and you can use here dataset parameter to get the date, right? So, and in this, what you want? You want only year. So just to say y. So this is the first parameter. Next slash. Next slash. Here you need to put capital MM. Okay. Here you need to put BD. Okay, so this is what you need. Just copy this same thing and finish it. Okay, so this is the dynamic query you need to pass. So what I will do here, let's say I will pass some value, something like this 2020 1208. So from this I am going to take it. Okay, you will get it, right? I hope you understood. Default value I am not passing because this particular from date I will pass it from the pipeline. Next, come to same pipeline, create your sync data set, click here. So same gen2 I want to pass the file, continue. So as a CSV only I want to load. This is basically for DS move only, but this is a sync data set. Use the linked service, this one, and file system directory. File system, let's select same, right? So same file system, that is source data. So but the date I will just output, I will just pass it dynamically. Output to the, click OK. Come to sync data set. Come to sync data set. Click parameter. So you can say here to date. So from date, from what date to what date you want to pass. So to date is come here. Click on this. Click add dynamic content. Here you can say format. Sorry, not here. You search here. Format date time. Select this. Then you need to select the pipeline parameter or data set parameter here, because this will get the date. So from this date I want to take only year. Okay, that's all. Okay, this is how you need to say year slash, meaning from year, inside year you have a month folder, inside month folder you'll have a day folder. From this I need to pick the data. Okay, sorry, in this folder I need to load the data from date and end date. So how you will pass this from date and end date? So how I will pass this from date and end date is something like this. Come to pipeline, click on pipeline. So in this, click on open canvas here outside. So create two parameter, pipeline parameter, pp from date, pp to date. Okay. So now come to copy activity, pass to date here, sync side, right? Sync side, pp to date you pass. Source side I need to pass pp from date. Okay, so this is the copy activity is completed. Now once copy activity is completed successfully, then I need to delete the data. So come here, delete, pass it. So what? Yeah, this is okay. No. First delete and load. In that case, you need is wait. You need is wait activity. There are some issues. Yeah, we'll discuss those things. Now, once you once you move files from source to sink, I need to delete the files from the source. That's why select source. So from which date folder? From pp, from date you need to pass. So from this particular folder, I want to delete the files. Wildcard file path, because basically I want to delete all the files which I have in that folder. So star wildcard file path star. Logs I don't want, because we have seen already logs. It will just give you what files deleted and all that information. Source side, still this side also, in that 08 folder we have multiple files. I want to pick all the files, so that's why select wildcard file path. So star. Okay, so this is the my move pipeline. I'm not running, because if I run again, I need to again upload the files. Okay, that's why I'm not running. But is it fine? Okay, otherwise let me run it. No issue. I'll just upload once again. That is not a big deal for us, right? Go to overview. So can you confirm, everybody? I need answer from all of you friends. Can you confirm quickly? How many of you comfortable? Go to source data 2020 12 08. See, in 08 I have a 3 files. Okay, these 3 files I want to move it into 07. You see, I don't have anything in 07. Okay, so once I move those files into 07, I don't want to have a files in 08. Okay, so for that, just to show you, right, so what I will do, I use some wait activity, so the delete activity will not execute immediately. Wait activity will execute. Right click auto align, everything will be aligned. Okay, now wait activity we need to configure, right? Wait activity, how many seconds you want to wait? Let's say 60 seconds, 1 minute, let's wait. Okay, so that we can able to do that. Okay, fine. We can able to verify. Now I'm just debugging. So from date and to date, it is asking, I will say 2020 12 082. Check it here. 08 082, where I need to move from this day. I need to copy files from 07. See, in real time so you can just copy paste exactly my pipeline whatever I implemented. Okay, now pipeline is running. Now you see, copy activity is in progress. So it is copied. Now come here. So anyhow wait activity is running. Now delete activity will not. See, in 8 you still have a files. Go to 7 and see files came or not. Yes, all files came to the 7th folder. Clear? Now, okay, again go to the 8th folder and see still we have a files. When these files will be deleted in 1 minute. Now we'll see, we will come here and check what is the time now. So it's almost finished off time. So if we wait 30 more seconds, then our delete activity will execute and it will delete the files from our source folder. Chaitanya is clear. Rest of the people, can you confirm, friends? Vinod, clear?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay. Manohar, Bhargav Reddy,
Clear,
Ashu,
Malaya.
Sudhir, Shushmita, Shiva, Ratnaraj. Please confirm, friends, everybody. See, I cannot call all of you. Now you see delete activity also finished. Now we'll go to here. Let's say I'm inside 08, right? Let's click refresh. See, files is gone. So you have a folder, but if you go inside a folder, you don't have any data. Understood? Now, what I want to do, now I want in a reverse way, right? So because I don't want to upload manually, I want to do reverse now. So do I need to do anything? Simply I will reduce the wait activity to just some 20 seconds. Okay, yeah, I'll just debug it, but this time when I'm debugging, I will change my, I have a files in 01207. These files I want to move it into the 01208 because I want to replicate the same thing from the switch activity. Okay. First, let's execute this. It's running now. We'll see. Yes, it is successful. Come here. Come here. Refresh this. Files came. Okay, cust1, cust2, cust3. I have it all these 3 files available. Now go back to the 07 and check files available or not. Yes, files are available. So come to data factory. Now you see delete activity is executing, delete activity is in progress. It is deleted already. Come here, let's refresh files in 7th folder. You see files is gone. You don't have any files. Go inside, you see you don't have any files. Clear? Now I resetted the data also in the data lake storage gen 2. This is my first pipeline. This is my first pipeline. I will create a new pipeline. Yeah, in this I don't want to wait and all, right? So it will waste our time because it's not required here. Like wait activity is not required here. Okay, fine. Now pipeline. This pipeline is basically just for copying the data. PL underscore data for copy. Bring here copy data. Source is this one. DS underscore move underscore. Yeah, let's create a new one, right? So it's a gen 2 data lake storage gen 2 continue. CSV files. This is DS P activity DS. Yeah, let's say copy DS copy source. Use this linker service. Let's select the folder. What is the folder here? I have a log files folder. In this log file folder, all the files I want to move it into the copy into the archive folder. Okay, let's select wildcard file path here. Let's come to sync. Let's select new. It's a gen 2 data lake storage gen 2 continue. CSV files I want to load. This is basically DS copy DS copy. It's a sync. This is the same link service. Here browse it. Select your target. Where is your target? I want to move files into the archive. First I said click OK. That's all. Okay. This is the second. Now this is our second pipeline, right? So let's create our final pipeline, which is going to have only delete activity. PL data delete. Let's create a new link, new data set. Okay, it's for Gen 2 data lake storage Gen 2. So let's select here DS for ADLS Gen 2, DS for Gen 2 delete. Files delete. So select this bad files, all bad files I want to delete. Right, select bad files, click OK. So wildcard file path. So I want to delete all the files. Logging settings, I will turn off this. We know if we enable this, we need to select where we need to store the logs. All those things we have learned already. Uncheck this. This is finished, right? Now what I will do, delete activity also finished. Now come here, click our final pipeline. This pipeline is nothing but a PL for switch. Okay, PL, you can say something data movement based on the switch condition. Okay, switch activity. Don't use activity because it will confuse you. Just to say switch. Okay, this is our final, right? So in this I will use the switch. So where we have switch here, bring the switch. Okay, see by default you will have only this one. So I will say cloud contact switch, cloud contact switch. Come to activities. So expression, I need to pass the expression, right? So I will tell you the different ways to pass the expression. That's okay. But here you see the cases are you have only default case. In default case also you can add the activities. I will go inside default case. You will add the wait activity. Let's add the wait activity. Wait activity saying that default wait. So it will just execute for 10 seconds. Wait activity. Come back to the switch activity. Now you see in default how many activities I have used? One activity. Now I want to add a case. This. So see, this is the case I have added. Now click on this. Just bring this up. See, case name you need to enter here. Case name is basically for move. For move, I want to use which activity I want to use in move case. I want to use execute pipeline activity. I will use execute pipeline activity. By using this execute pipeline activity, just call the PL underscore data. So, but for this PL underscore data move, I need to pass the two values. See, I'm calling another pipeline, but I need to pass two values. So, you know, so from date is 2020, you can just output it, but in other case, we will pass it from the metadata. So there are different ways we discuss. 1208, I have files in 1208. These files, I need to move it into 1207. Okay, that's all. See, when this is the case, move case, I'm executing execute pipeline activity. In this, I just selected the execute pipeline activity. This required two parameters, I passed it. That's all. Now I'm going back to the switch activity. Okay, now I want to add a new case. Click on, yeah, one more thing. You have, yeah, that's okay. Just click add case. So here case 2. So now you just click on this to add the activities for this case. So here you need to edit the case name. Here this is basically for the copy. This is basically for the copy. Okay, fine. Now this is a copy activity, right? That's okay. Let's use execute pipeline activity to call the copy pipeline. This is the copy pipeline I'm calling. Go back to the switch activity. You see, like for default, I have added one activity. For move, I have added one activity. One activity means it's a execute pipeline activities. Inside execute pipeline activities, we'll have multiple activities. Next, add case. So just click on this final case. This is basically delete. Okay, this is first letter. I will mark it as a delete. Now execute pipeline again. Come to settings. Use this delete activity. Okay, now come back. Now you see, go here. You see, we have a move, copy, delete, all these cases. Now I want to add one more case. I will tell you why I am adding this. Come here, click on this. Let's add, it's a let's say I'm saying something like this copy. Okay. So here you see it's a capital C, it's a small c. We'll see. So this value is already used. It is saying this value is already used. Okay, let's do one thing. Move, copy, delete. Yeah, let's go with this, and let me show you finally. One more thing I wanted to show you. I will show you that. So, but you see now, move, copy, delete, and default here. Okay. Now, where you are going to pass value is here. You need to pass the expression. This expression you can pass it by using the for each activity as well. You can pass it one by one from for each. But let's go with one by one. I am going to pass it manually here. First, let's go with by passing manually. We will do it. Okay. Let's say now when I call move, what will happen? When I call move, what will happen? Can you tell me when I call move, what will happen? Move. So I'm just clicking debug. So it is going to execute what it is what it is going to copy files. Correct. So execute pipeline 1 is executing. So let's see. Click on this to see the. Okay, move pipeline is called. Now we'll go and check whether it is working or not. Let's refresh this 07. See, files came. Let's go and check in 08 whether files are available or not. Yes, files is gone. Files is gone. Okay, first one is working. Next in switch. Now I'll just say copy. Okay, I will just say copy and I will execute. Before that, let's go and check archive folder whether we have files or not. We don't have any files in archive, but go to the log files and check. In log files, we have up to 6 files. We'll see now when I debug pipeline, what will happen. Execute pipeline 2 will run. Execute pipeline 2 is basically going to what it is going to do. Execute pipeline 2, what it is going to do. See, execute pipeline 2 is basically going to copy files. So sequence only. First one is move. Second one we have used copy. Third one we have used delete. See, its copy is completed. So files will be available in log file because it's a simple copy. Go to archive folder and see whether files arrived or not. See, 6 files came. Okay, this is also fine. Now go to bat files and check whether how many files we have. Total I have 7 files. When I pass first this switch delete, how it will work, you see. Click debug. Okay. So pipeline 3 also succeeded. You can see execute pipeline 3 also succeeded. Now you refresh bat file folder. See, no files available because all files is deleted. Okay, now you understood this is working. Okay. Now you see how I will do same thing. How I will do same thing in reverse way. Now let me just upload same thing again. All files I have here, just upload it. Okay, I have total 7 files here. Now come back. Go to bad files I have, right? So bad files we have already available. Now come back. Go to archive. Let's remove all these files because I'm going to copy from the log file later. So I'll just remove all these things now. And for doing the files copy from 07 to 08, now again I need to reset it. Otherwise we can do in another way, but I don't want to confuse you, that's why. Let's do same thing. So I have 07, I have files in 07. I want to move it into 08. So instead of reversing in the pipeline itself, I will change the dates. Now come here. Otherwise I don't want to confuse you. Let's come here. Let's run a pipeline. Add trigger. No, click debug. Okay, here I will just say I have a files in 2020 07. Can you move these files into 08? Okay, so let's see now. Anyhow, this pipeline is going to do that work for us. We no need to delete, add all those things we no need to do. So this pipeline now will delete files from the 08 folder, 07 folder. See, it is copied files from the 07 to 08. I have files in 08. Now we'll go to the 07. These files will be deleted because we have some. This is also completed. Now you refresh, files are gone from the 07 folder. Fine. Now come here, go to your switch activity. See now how I'm going to use this switch activity is, first you use for each. Now right click on this switch activity, cut it. Go inside this for each and paste this switch activity. Understood? Switch is there inside for each. Now in this switch, I need to pass this expression. This expression I need to pass it from the for each. Okay, from for each I will pass. But how for each is going to get these things? You know, for each how the metadata values will pass it to the for each. In for each, I will pass manually. Now I will pass some values manually in for each. Create array. So there is a function I need to use. In this function, by using this function, I can say simply, first I want to do move. Next I want to do copy. Next I want to do delete. So now you say sequence. This is a sequence. Sequence one by one I want to pass it. I don't want to pass everything at once. See, first I will pass move. Next it will pass copy. Next it will pass delete. Now I will publish on. Click publish. Okay. So now the time is 8:28. I will trigger it, like I will just create a schedule trigger. Create new schedule trigger. Schedule trigger at what? Schedule trigger. Schedule trigger at what time? 8:30. Okay, let's say 8:30. I will 8:30 a.m. today. 8:30 a.m. in what time zone? It should be India time zone, and this is every 15 minutes. That's okay, and this should be finished at 9 and some 10 o'clock. Finish. 50 minutes, every 50 minutes something, or every 1 hour. You click OK. Click OK. Then you can publish on. Publish on. So much time left. You have 15 more seconds. Doubt about this, it will finish or not. Yes, on time we have finished. Now we'll see our pipeline. It will pick. Okay, that's okay. Let's reschedule our pipeline because this publishing took more time. Now that is the reason, I think. Let me just change the timing. 8:32 I will schedule. Okay, 8:32. Click OK. Click OK. Click OK. Click publish. I think now already 8:31. So that's why I have scheduled to 8:32. We'll see our pipeline will pick up at 8:32 and it will run one by one. Okay. We'll see that as well. It is published. Let's wait for 2 or 3 minutes. We'll see. Yeah, 14 more seconds. Let's come to monitor tab. Because previously, I think by the time it is published, it needs some 5 seconds at least to schedule it right on time. That's okay. It should run now. We'll see. Yeah, it is started running. So PL underscore data underscore switch is started executing. So this will call the first move pipeline. See, move pipeline is running. What move pipeline is going to do? Move pipeline is going to copy files into the 07 folder. Now you see files will come. Yeah, files came. Now you go back to the 08 folder and check files. Yeah, delete it. Okay. Now come to pipeline, refresh it. First pipeline is succeeded. Move pipeline. Next it is copying. Go to here, check archive. I think already it's copied. Yes, it is copied. Now go back to your bad files. It should delete. It is already deleted. So your pipeline is succeeded already. Refresh it. See, everything is succeeding. Okay, first move, copy, delete. Okay. Now let's come back. How many of you clear on this, friends? Everybody's clear on this. How I am passing all these things? Move, copy, delete. One by one it will pass because we are using sequence. So if you want to do everything at once, what we need to do? We need to go for what, friends? We need to go for batch count. We know, right? So now what else I wanted to show you is, yeah, in for each itself, let's say I will go with the small m. We'll see whether the case sensitive, but previously when I one of the case I've seen it's a case sensitive. I did not check it later. We'll see. If I say D, so what will happen? We'll see. I'll just debug it. Okay. So I'll just debug it. We'll see what is going to happen. Will it execute our pipelines or will it execute a default condition? See, default weight is going. You understood? Why default weight? See, again the switch is taking. Again it will go to the default only. So none of the things are matching. You understood? It's a case sensitive. Case name is case sensitive. You understood now? It's a case sensitive.
Yes.
You have to be very careful. But there is a one more condition with the same, even though it's a case sensitive, you cannot create two cases with like same name, whether it's a capital or small, right? So we have seen that as well. Click on the switch activity. So you see move, copy, delete. Now you just click on add case. Come here, just click on this. You are not able to add the copy even with small case. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it won't work, but previously I hope you everybody have seen, right? So it was not allowed us to give the copy here, right? So that's how it won't allow, friends. Okay, that's all for today, friends. Any questions? I think it is not the screen issue. It is simply going. I'm not able to do anything. There is some UI problem. It is not. Cannot stop it. Is going. That's okay, but you have seen that, right? So if you want to see something, just click on a pipeline you want to see, right? Then you do one thing, switch. If you want to experience something, well, you can do it still. Okay, just to bring switch data here, activities. Okay, just add two cases. Okay. Here it will allow. Click on case one. So here you say let it be case one only. Okay, now come back. Click on new case here. Add case. It's basically say case 2, right? Go inside case 2. Now you give case 1 only, but it's a small c. See, let's see now. Come back. Expression. You see, it is saying something. It is saying this value is already used. This value is already used. You understood? But even though it's a case sensitive, you cannot create two cases with the same name. Okay, with the upper or lower case difference. Okay, that's all for today, friends. Let me just stop this.